So speaking about bigger mountains, you got a project planned for Colorado. What do you have going on in Colorado?
The plan is to come back later on the year in the fall and try to do a nice connection link up of all the 14ers in the lower 48. So like starting in Colorado and try to find a nice and aesthetical line in between all those summits. So finding nice ridges in between. So starting in the Longs Peak and ending up in the Rainier. So yeah, it will be it's exciting. I'm excited to discover not only the geography of all these mountains and the textures of the mountains, but also the cultures. It's a lot of native areas. It's a lot of public lands, wilderness areas, and private lands. So to discover through this geological journey, also the culture of the West.
Obviously, you did the Alps project last year, which was a big peak. 81 peaks with it.
Yeah, it was 82 in the Alps. Yeah.
Okay. So it's obviously similar, but in different mountains, in different region. I guess it seems like there's some things that will overlay into what you're doing here in the United States for that, and also probably things you learned, but also new things because it's higher elevations in some places for more consistent time, just different things like that.
Yeah, I think like coming from the Alps, the project has the same spirit on trying these connections and trying to find aesthetic lines and this continued movement. But it's very different because like the mountains and the cultures are very different. Like in the Alps, it was the hardest was like mentally the risk assessment, because it was kind of technical all the time and a lot of dangers from the mountains, like glaciers, rocks falling and all that. But then like it's always close to villages or things like that. While here, the good thing is that normally it's not any danger in the mountains. It's a few technical sections, but not every day for almost all the time, like in the Alps. But the wilderness is much bigger. Like the wild areas are huge. So like the accessibility it's more difficult. They are more remote. I can be sometimes for a few days without any access from the outside, which brings another difficulty, but also a great experience. And also the difference between I think it's also a challenge with the long distances in between, like summits, and in between Colorado and California. It's huge bike rides with sometimes like very heat temperatures, and that will make a challenge.
And the goal is going to be to connect them all by human power.
Yeah, it's all human power. So like it's and it's not to try to do all the summits as fast as possible, but to try to find like aesthetic lines in between. So like trying to find these beautiful lines, and then like taking the bike to go to another mountain range and that. So yeah, it's a lot in Colorado, but then it's like also this long bike ride to get to California, to the Normans, and then like another long bike ride to go north. So it's really challenging that.
Sounds like a fun experience. And obviously, you've been on some of those mountains, but not all of those mountains. I think one of the things that always strikes me about you, and even when you were younger years ago, is that you have always been so thoughtful about the mountains. And I'm guessing that must come from your upbringing. I mean, being your family growing up in the mountains, and that. I mean, like as much as you have done fast things or FKTs or whatever, you're always about like the beauty of the nature, and being at one with the mountains. I guess maybe talk about that related to this project.
Yeah, I think it's like we have technology to do everything very fast. Like we could take a chopper and like go to the summit of Everest, and we would be in the summit of Everest. But what does it mean to climb the mountain? What does it mean to link up those summits? It's not about using every resource that we have available to do it. It's about the journey, and I think that's culturally like alpinism, mountaineering. It's always been about the game of renouncing about tools that we have accessible, but that we renounce because we want to live an experience. So like we renounce sometimes to gear, to be more naked, face this nature, to be more connected with the elements, and to be able to do it by oneself, not to climb because you put means, but to climb because you elevate your level, your capacity to be able to do it. So I think in this project and in most of the projects that I try to do in the mountains, it's always about this, like to try to see if I'm able to do it with my capacities, not about like what I can bring on that, and to get this connection, like to be as naked as possible with the nature, with the mountains.